Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Favorite Showcase. And today we're going to be talking about a little band started in 2000, exactly 2000. I think they were founded in, I believe, late 90s or so. They bursted in on the new metal scene and have since released, man, how many albums is it now, Vic?
It has to be somewhere in that 8 range, excluding like live albums.
Yeah, because today we are talking about Disturbed, of course. The world's best cover band and new metal question mark. They've actually been like put under the new metal sort of category, but I also know that they don't care for it as much. That title, they consider themselves just metal.
I
Um
mean, so the question I have when it comes down to that,
mhm.
what is the difference between like what makes new metal new metal? Because I'm not sure actually.
So basically, it's the time period. So early 2000s, you have people would consider like Corn, Disturbed, Limp Bizkit. Some people have said, yeah, I know.
They're considered metal?
Yeah, they're considered in the new metal genre.
What the fuck? Okay.
Much to many people's disdain, honestly. They even put Evanescence in there, but I disagree with that. So, like, there's a lot of debate on it. I'd say the pinnacle of new metal would be Korn. That's what I would consider because they incorporate like the heaviness of metal mixed with like hip hop sort of things. So
Okay.
so honestly, I kind of get it for their first album, Disturbed. If you listen to the beginning of this song here,
Y2K. Yeah.
it it it's very sort of like you have songs like that and they have a couple of little.
I mean, would you consider Pantera in that same vein?
No, I wouldn't. They're groove metal.
Really?
Yeah.
There's so many different subcategories that I am actually not aware of.
Yeah, I know. There's a ridiculous amount. In fact, we plan on making a video on that actually.
Yeah, I
I
honestly I
I
can't wait to be educated.
cuz metal's crazy. So anyway, you have songs like that and Down with the Sickness where they have different beats as opposed to the previous metal bands that came like Metallica where it's a lot of just like the straight picking and stuff. But not only have they stayed consistent, you do also have songs like this, 10,000 Fists in the Air.
One of my favorites.
And it sounds um very different, but also you see where they came from.
Yeah.
Again, they started in 2000. That's when their first album came out anyway. When
Hmm.
they were like signed and stuff, I'm sure they were founded before that. Um, so it's both changed and like evolved while also still maintaining that consistent Disturbed sound. If we go up to their newest one, that being the album
Also, they
Divisive.
know how to they know how to name an album. I enjoy that.
Oh yes, they do. They most certainly do. You listen to. So as you can see, I feel like Disturbed does a very good job of both maintaining their sound while also keeping things fresh. I feel they do a very good job of that.
Yeah, and I would like to also contribute the fact that and what you were just talking about, the sound itself. Yes, it's like metal, of course, but it's theirs, right? Like
Yeah,
they very much have a oh, this is Disturbed. No doubt about it.
exactly. And the thing with the whole new metal debate is their beats are a lot different. There's not a whole lot of like, blast beats and
Mhm.
that like a lot of people a lot of bands like you have the double bass pedal and not that they never do that, but it's a lot more. I would say that there's a bit more of a hip hop sort of thing to it, and that's where people get it confused. But I'd say at its core, they are definitely a metal band.
Yeah.
Like just in the feeling, and metal's one of those genres where a lot of it comes from feeling, right? When you hear them, it gets you pumped, it gets you raring to go.
One of the things that I always attribute with Disturbed, and it's actually going back to a conversation we had recently in another episode of Favorite Showcase. I absolutely love Disturbed's drums. It gets me pumped more than anything. Their drums, they're so distinctive to them, and I just they're always so on point with every song.
Yes. So currently, 6. Seems like 6.
8 albums, right?
No, so I was actually counting,
Oh, how many covers?
how many cover songs,
Gotcha.
because that is one of the big things that we are going to be talking about today. But real quick, just to
It's actually the primary.
it is, but right beforehand, just to go off of what you were saying, the drums, that they are very, I'd say they're very unique, and it's a very important part of Disturbed's sound.
Absolutely.
I'd say it's a part of metal sound in general. Drums dictate a lot of what goes into the sound, like, that it has.
Funny enough, the only other, and it's not even the whole band, it's the one song. So the only other song that gets me as hyped for drums as Disturbed as a whole, and I think you've said this before to me where you were like, really, all nightmare long, bro. That's such
Oh
a
yeah,
good
by
drum line.
Metallica.
Such a
Um,
good drum line.
it's a good song, honestly. I like Death Magnetic. There's a lot of stuff that we can talk about there.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we have a Metallica video in
We
the
definitely
works.
definitely have one coming up.
So we'll cover that there. I have a lot of thoughts on Metallica. I know more about them than I actually wanted to know, if I'm going to be honest. But again, we'll get into all that later. One of the main things, because we were talking about Disturbed recently, something we feel like is simultaneously talked about a lot, but at the same time not really acknowledged, is their cover songs. They've got 6, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's about every other album that they have a cover song, and they've recently made it in the limelight a few years back, and part of their comeback album, Immortalized. They took a hiatus, and they
Yeah.
came back fucking
Swinging.
swinging with this
Also,
shit.
also before you do that,
Oh,
one
yeah.
second. We say a few years back, but it is disgusting that it is 9 years ago now.
Oh shit, it's 9 years ago.
Anyway, we can play it now.
So anyway, they came back swinging after a hiatus 9 years ago with this shit. Fucking Sound of Silence. And I mean, shit.
So the question is to anybody who is listening that doesn't know a lick about Disturbed, you've probably heard that song.
Yeah, it was on the radio. It got a lot of airtime. It was.
You
everywhere.
could just see by the plays. It was that 800 mil.
Yeah, just about 800 million.
And that's just on Spotify alone.
That's just Spotify. That's not counting. And it's funny because, like, you have that, right? You have Sound of Silence. And I think this is what catches everybody off guard, whether you are a Disturbed fan or not.
Otherwise.
Yeah, or otherwise. Because, here, let me try and find it. Because their second most popular song is this. And I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit just to...
Oh, shit.
And we're gonna wait for the iconic fucking... Also did! They also did!
Piano. With operatic vocals.
So, like, it's just fucking nuts. And that's really the crux of the conversation today. Because I recommended this song to many people who didn't hear that they did it. They're like, Disturbed did the Sound of Silence. Simon and Garfunkel, there's no way that they did this good. Because they're imagining chunky guitars and fucking booming drum beats, and they just did it so much justice. They did such a good
It's
fucking job.
crazy how good they did. I think it's funny because it's on the same album as the Vengeful one, which is such a fucking crazy shift in tempo as well. Like you play the Vengeful one just at those drums again.
Yep, same album. Same
Crazy.
album. I think it's a good point to kind of go back to where it all began. First album with their first cover, The Sickness, 2000,
The summer of 2000.
and they did their first cover song.
Shout, shout, let it all out. These are the I hope we live to tell the tale. I hope we live to shout the tale.
Just another amazing cover. And it was their
Point-
first one.
Point of contention.
Okay.
For those who don't know, I was born in the year 2000. For the longest time ever in my life, that was Shout.
Oh, me too.
That was Shout. There was no cover. That was Shout.
I was 6 years old when this came out, and
Yeah.
my stepdad played it all the time. It was my favorite song at 6 years old. And I didn't know until I was older, and like it was on the radio, the original Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
Shout came, yeah.
Shout, let it all out. Completely different.
It is, but honestly, they're both really good songs, in
Oh,
my
absolutely.
opinion. I think they're both really great. They did just such a good job. They did what you should be doing with a cover song. So for me, this is telling of a great cover song. They kept the same spirit as the original while also
Mhm.
making it their own. They gave it the Disturbed treatment, but like it's the same song. They didn't
And-
completely butcher it and turn
And
it on
and
its
I
head.
and I think it's crazy that if you think about it, right? This is their first album, and they already knew what they were. They already knew their sound, right? I think and you see it a lot early albums, right?
Yeah.
Where it is so different. It is crazy. They don't know themselves until the second, third, maybe even later.
And I think even
Oh.
crazier than that, right?
Yeah.
This was like a breakout album.
Oh, absolutely.
If you don't know any of their other music, you at least know this first album. Like
You know
like,
a song off this album. Like
at,
it's
at the very least, and you can't say that. Usually it's like first album, it's like okay, you start getting your following, and then like it's like the third or fourth album where people really start paying attention to you, right? But
yeah,
no, just out the gate swinging, out the gate.
crazy.
And it would be another 4 years or so live album. Many people probably don't know this one, but they did a live album and they covered Fade to Black. Funny enough, and honestly, it's really good. They don't do the whole thing,
Yep.
but just out the gate. Just
Even that's even them, right? Like
yeah.
you could tell, same musically. It's just them. Like you don't even know. It seems deeper. I
Yeah.
don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does, because
it seems to be a fuller kind of meteor sound.
well, and part of it is like you're never going to imitate what the other person did. You have cover bands which they are impressive as hell because they can
Yeah.
mimic the sound. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to do that. You can play the same notes as somebody. Hell, you
Yeah.
can even get right down to you have the same exact setup, but if you're not playing it how they were playing it, it's not going
It
to
ain't
sound
working.
the same. Yeah, so when you take into account this is a live album, right? This is live. They're playing this it's probably part of their set list, but almost on a whim when you think about it, because you have to be set up for your other songs.
Yeah, for sure.
So they don't set it up much differently than if they were playing their other stuff, but they still manage to make the whole thing work. David Dryman does a great job. They only do like the first half of the song, but here we'll try and get his vocals in here just to. Because I'd say Fade to Black is one of those songs where it resonates with people lyrically more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try and... Where is he? Oh my god. I forget how long Metallica intros are. It's kind of crazy.
Yep, I mean... One.
Oh, one. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean...
Again, Metallica video later.
Life seems to fade away, trembling color every day.
Again, so much emotion. Like, they put themselves on a plate there.
And I think, going back to what I said earlier when he did Sound of Silence, I don't think you would go from Down with the Sickness to expecting this guy to have a very good, almost operatic tone
Well,
behind him.
not for nothing. He did grow up Jewish, and
Mhm.
that seems to be a big part of their culture and faith. I'm not an expert, but it does seem to be one of those things where, like, they do teach you how to sing. And he had a lot of training like that. I think I saw an interview once where David Dryman did say a lot of his family members didn't like how he was singing in this band, just
Mhm.
because, like, he has such a beautiful voice. Why would you do all this shouting and ooh wows?
But funny enough, you think about it, they've been doing this for 24 years,
Yeah.
and it hasn't damaged anything.
No, he
Like, he still
does it
sounds
right.
amazing.
Yeah, no, his technique is amazing. So, we go from 2000, they do their album Believe next time, 2002, then they have that live album, so, like, no official recorded covers
Mhm.
yet until this point. Nothing where, like, they transform a song. They play Fade to Black, they do a good job of it, and then,
And then
I would say-
05 hit.
yeah, and I would say, definitely, like, 100%. This is the next best known album, and again, it has to do with, I feel, the cover, Land of Confusion, which is... And the vocals will be coming in soon, so I won't.
Must have dreamed 1,000 dreams, elongated by a million screams.
Again, honestly, like, for me, beautiful.
Absolutely. It's almost perfect.
They take the song, they play the song, and like, but they add their own spin, they add their own little Disturbed spice, and it's a wonderful thing.
For those who don't know who originally did Land of Confusion, it was Genesis. It was Phil Collins. So it's crazy. It's crazy because Phil Collins killed it. Honestly, like the Phil Collins, not the Phil Collins version, but the Genesis version, very good. I will say on the record, I do prefer Disturbed. It is almost perfect in my eyes.
They know how to do a good cover. It's crazy. I'm sure I could sit here and dissect this song here, but like
We could probably do a video on each of these covers.
probably, but we're not here to do that.
But we're just showcasing how good they are. And the funny thing about it is we make the joke, it's like, yeah, Disturbed is a cover band, but like they kind of could have. Like they probably could have just
They could release an album of covers and
they
probably
could
kill
pull a T-Pain right now, fam.
it. By the way, that War Pigs cover,
Oh.
kind of nuts, actually.
Crazy. I love it.
Kind of nuts.
They got praise from Ozzy. Did you see that?
No, I didn't, but he did a good job.
Ozzy was like, "What the fuck?"
So the next album, Indestructible, which has again a couple of songs here that are just like really popular, but there are no covers. But they do have Indestructible, Inside the Fire, which touches on a really sensitive subject of suicide, and they wanted to raise awareness. So that's great on them, in my opinion. That it's a really good album, but there is no cover on that one. Next, and we won't have another album until 2010. Asylum. Again, another great album if no one's ever heard it. However, and there is a cover song on this, however, Disturbed. I'm sorry, buds, you dropped the ball a little bit in my opinion. So I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Original by U2. They cover it. I think David Dryman sings it fine.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like how they approached So first of all, I think there was probably, and I didn't look into it super hard, but it looks like there may have been some problems with musical rights or something, because technically under the track it is labeled as ISHFWILF. Ishfilwif.
It's filled with.
There's, what is it, like almost a minute and a half of silence before you even get into it.
It must have been like a weird bonus track.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it must have been in the time of bonus tracks on CDs where, like, if you sat there and listened, like, there's
Long
some
enough,
silence.
there might be some extra credit scenes.
The Marvel end credit scene. All right, so 1:35. And you know what? When it starts off, it sounds a little promising.
And then that happens. In my opinion, that's
This
kind of where
part,
it went down.
the wah, wah. So
Hands climb highest mountains I have rode through the field.
So again, David Dryman sings it great.
Yeah.
I think singing. So, and if you listen to the guitar, I've listened to this album not too long ago. The guitar and stuff, it matches the sound of the album. I think I see what they were going for, but I don't think it fits for the song. There's a lot of sour notes in there and stuff that you do find in metal, but like it doesn't work with the rest of the chord tones and all that stuff. It just does not work for a song. Like, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. The mixing isn't great, which is crazy because their mixing's always on point. I've never had a complaint about their mixing, but for this song in particular,
It seems to me that it might have been very rushed.
I feel like it missed the mark. Almost like they
And
had-
I will almost say, and I kind of agree with you that it might have been a weird situation because it seems like it might have just been put together really quickly.
Yeah. So with that said, I don't want to spend too much time shitting on Disturbed because all things considered, they do a fantastic job. Because another one I don't think many people know about, you have the next album, The Lost Children, and they do Living After Midnight by Judas Priest. There we go.
I was gonna help you out, but I was like, no, you'll get it. It'll be fine.
No, I'll get it because I love Priest. So Living After Midnight, I feel like was really well thought out. They do a
Yeah.
fantastic job. For anyone who does know Judas Priest very well, they open it up with not the drum line from Living After Midnight, but they open it up with Painkiller, which is just fucking awesome. That little,
That's awesome. Yeah.
and then we go into like they start off playing Painkiller. Again, those drum chops.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
With that, I would love to see him cover Painkiller, but like, dude, this
Come
is...
on.
And they just have so much fun with this song. If you haven't heard it yet, please.
So good.
It just again, they just it's a fun song, and they go ahead and have fun with it.
And one of the things that you kind of see a pattern of is like these covers are very much, and I kind of feel this way. It's just like, man, we finished the album, let's play.
Yeah.
Like it gives so much of that vibe. It's like, guys, we got our 15 songs out of the way. Let's have fun.
And that's another thing. It's a long fucking album. 16 songs at about 3 to 4 minutes long.
Yes,
some
about
being 5.
averaging a 45-minute album every 2 years.
Again, great song, The Lost Children. I know, I don't think it's one that's as well known, but I really like it.
Yeah.
I like it quite a bit. And then this is when they take a hiatus. They take a, let's see, how long was it?
Yeah, it was 4 years.
Yeah, they take a 4-year hiatus. You don't hear anything from Disturbed, and we round it back to Sound of Silence, which we've already gushed over. I mean, it's
Let's actually kind of showcase the part in Sound of Silence, kind of towards the end where it kind of picks up a little bit, because I think it's just really the key change there is so good. It has to be around here, right? Yeah.
Actually, I picked the perfect part. Because you see him peek out a little bit here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because it feels like it gets more disturbed as it goes, right?
Yeah, but then like they still don't fuck it up. They don't bring in, and again, similar to I still haven't found what I'm looking for. They didn't bring in electric guitars. They knew they couldn't bring in electric guitars for this. They didn't get the double bass drum kit and just fucking go for it. They did good. They did really good. I don't know who played what or if anyone played anything, but like it's just so good. It's so good.
Crazy.
And for me, all but like one song they have done justice to. And again, immortalized. Just a great album. Great comeback album. I know it's not a lot of people's favorites, I don't think, from what I saw. And some
That's
people
weird because I really enjoy it.
So everyone enjoyed it, but like I don't know, from what I saw, at least on iTunes at the time when I was reading reviews, everyone had a problem with Fire It Up.
Calm down.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like a rock band, rock stars smoking weed. That's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't explicitly say pot or weed though. So, not in my Christian Minecraft server.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize people hated Nirvana. Anyway, let's go.
And after that, we pretty much get silence on the cover front. Yeah. We get their next album, Evolution. Personally, I wasn't a big fan. I liked a few songs. I actually liked this one. I don't know if you've heard this one before.
I've not heard this album, to be honest with you.
I tried. I like Are You Ready? I think I like A Reason to Fight. And I like this one.
I think it's funny when you look at Spotify because you can kind of see the consensus with the plays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that one has, like, the most. Oh, wait, no, this one has the most.
No, that's 83.
And this is 31. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
It's all good.
It has the fourth most.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and no more. Okay, so you can see. These songs are good. These ones aren't as good. This one's good, and then...
Watch You Burn might be the worst one. I mean, I love his voice, so I can't even...
And again, interesting...
Like, this is just basically acoustic guitar and him going.
The bass and the drums do pick up in the song. See?
Yeah.
They do go, like, acoustic for this one, though. Even the solo and stuff. Again, that song's one of those ones that it does give me chills, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I might have to check that one out more.
And then they have a few other ones. If I Ever Lose Faith in You, that was a single. I didn't like that one as much, admittedly. But we do have, something that he did with Nita Strauss, guitar player for... Let me go double check. I know she's a guitar player. I forget who exactly.
It might actually say it on Spotify if you click on her name.
Nita Strauss. Alice Cooper.
Oh, yeah?
She played with a few people, but Alice Cooper was...
kind of the big one. Gotcha.
And again, she's doing the guitar work, so it's going to be a little different than... Actually, come to... Oh, yeah, Disturbed needs... And okay. Yeah, so they have a couple cool, like, contrasting stuff with the guitar playing. And Divisive, I actually like that one. I like this one quite a bit. Ann Wilson, I believe she is... I'm trying to remember exactly what she's from. I kind of think... I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's a singer for Heart. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, so she sang for Heart. Hey You is good. Bad Man's good. We were listening to that beforehand.
So my question is, did this album come out late last year, or was it? Because it's looks like one of their smallest albums.
Yeah, late last year, 10 songs. But honestly, I prefer it over, like, Evolution, where they have, like, 14, and
Yeah,
only part of them are good. I don't mind a smaller album. But yeah, late last year, Don't Tell Me has been getting a lot of traction on the radio lately.
just like
And then,
Shinedown,
yes, just like Shinedown. I love Shinedown again.
that new joint that they put out.
Yeah, no, that. I really like that. I liked it before. Excuse me, I liked it before they
I
put
liked it
it on
before
the
it was
radio.
cool.
And yeah, I've been listening to them since Leave a Whisper.
Like
And
2007.
yeah, and I was listening to that song, Symptom of Being Human, way before
You want to
it
hear
was on
some
the
shit?
radio. Sure.
You want to hear some shit?
Yeah.
2009 was 15 years ago.
Oh. Oh no.
That means
Um,
2007 is more than
Oh god.
that.
And then
Oh, the speaker.
they released this gem recently, since we're on the cover thing. And this is just beautiful to me.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So I'm not an EDM guy, so I don't know how to feel about it.
It's lit. As somebody who's listened to some EDM in his time, this shit is good. This shit's good.
Shit's good.
Yo, find me in the club on a Saturday night bumping this shit, bro. Yo, watch me get out the gym and bump this shit, bro.
But yeah, so that's Disturbed, and that's their shtick.
Yeah.
Again, really great band, very consistent. I think there's only one album from their discography I didn't care for, and even then, there are good songs on it. So like,
And I think even then it's still Disturbed. It's still consistently Disturbed.
yes, absolutely consistent. They do a hell of a job on covers. So I'd say go give them a listen if you haven't listened to them yet. I'd say it's more than worth it.
Absolutely.
You want to sign us off with a wonderful day there, Victor?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, in conclusion, Disturbed is a band that has been around since I've been alive, and they've always consistently been Disturbed, and that's what I've enjoyed most about them. But I think that's gonna wrap us up here for this episode of Favorite Showcase. Thank you all for joining us. If you did enjoy it, please consider liking the video and possibly subscribing for our next videos coming up. They're fun, actually. They're really fun.
Oh, and that was episode 4. I don't think I mentioned it.
This was episode 4 of Favorite Showcase.
Oh my god, I didn't mention it in the intro.
Oh my fucking god.
I was nervous about it.
It's okay. But with that, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.